So I've been enjoying driving around the red 10th anniversary SVT Terminator Cobra. This video will get a little interesting later on, so let's get to it. For a nice drive to get something to eat with the Cobra. Love doing that. It's one of my favorite things. I like going to this new complex here near my house. Kind of a nice place to just go and enjoy something to eat and hang out and see the car. Nice parking area too. And so just always a nice time to walk out and look at the car, get out and enjoy it. Make sure that truck didn't hit me. I'll walk in front of the truck so it doesn't hit the car, right? Anyway. So as you can see, the Cobra's running good. I had a really good friend, the one who has the 3-valve GT we've been working on. He brought over and surprised me with his son this toolbox. This is really nice of them to give me this, and it wasn't just a toolbox. I mean, it came with a bunch of stuff inside that he gave me. Nice gift certificate to eat out with my family at our favorite pizza place. Some fender covers here to work on the car. Another fender liner here. A bore scope, which is really nice, and this is going to be actually what we're talking about here in the video a lot in a second here. And he just gave me a whole lot of nice things, and you know, the drawers had things in them that he had given me, and so that was just really nice. More RTV because he had just borrowed a little bit of mine. Gave me some gloves and brake cleaner and stuff. Just really nice of him to do that. And so I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to use that bore scope and look in the pistons of my Red Cobra just for fun, see how things are going, because you know the car has been dyno tuned, and I haven't been really mean to it. I've done a few pulls, had a few races in it and stuff, but I just kind of wanted to look in the cylinders, and I thought I'll use the bore scope on something that runs good so that there's no surprises, right? I put some magnets here of the emblems and stuff on it, but I like it a lot. So anyway, cool toolbox and stuff, but I decided if I look in the cylinders of a car that doesn't have a problem, it'll be nice because I won't find anything crazy. So anyway, just dressing up the toolbox and stuff, and that was just kind of cool. So I looked in the cylinders and I was like, whoa, there's some stuff in the sidewall there between the piston and the cylinder wall. At first glance, it looked like little chunks of metal, and I thought, oh no, what's going on here inside the engine, you know? And I thought the ring glands look perfect. I don't see any chunks missing. I don't see any problems with this the valve train. There's no knock. There's no noise. There's no metal in the oil. I just changed oil recently. Like, so what could that be? And it really worried me. And so I started looking around. It was kind of shiny and stuff. And it really got me worried. And, you know, I talked to my brother about it. And he said, well, let's, if it's just kind of, you know, mixing around in there, you know, the cylinder walls look good. I didn't see any scarring or scratches. He said, why don't we just get it over a street down to my house, and I have an air compressor and we can just blow out the cylinders. And I was also thinking maybe I'd pour some Marvel oil down in there and then suck it out with a shop vac like I did with another 4.6 I had that had a little rust in the cylinders and an extra engine I have. Maybe suspend whatever those particles are and suck them out with the shop vac and stuff. And so the plan was to go over to his house real quick and see what we could do about that. And of course, I was a little bit nervous with all this. So we started pulling plugs out and getting everything ready. And, you know, I did a compression test on this car when I bought it, and it was perfect. Everything came back, high 160s, basically. And pulled out the ignition coils, got everything out, and looked down in the cylinder, and most of the stuff was gone now. Looking in there, there's a little bit of carbon buildup, but the pistons all looked good. And I could see just a tiny bit of that little flakiness there. But when we rotated the engine, it went up and down with it, and it stuck to the sidewall. See there on the far right, you can see it just kind of stuck to the cylinder wall. And so on further inspection, we blew it out with the cylinders and realized that it was just anti-seize that had probably been on the spark plug threads. And, when I put the spark plugs in on the NGK plugs, I did use anti-seize, and then somebody in the comments said don't do that on those plugs. They're not made for that. The actual metal of these spark plugs threads will be compromised with the torque spec if you use anti-seize on them. So you're not supposed to do that with these, and NGK does have that on their website. So I decided to go ahead and pull those out, and I cleaned them off, and I put the plug in and pulled out and cleaned it off and stuff. But there was probably a good amount of it in the threads, and so what happened was when I pulled the plugs out to use the bore scope, some of that fell down into the cylinder, and it was really light and flaky. It was, it bounced around. I could take it and just smash it in my fingers and smooth it out. So it wasn't a danger. It wasn't scarring things up. So we did blow the cylinders out and got everything out of there, and everything's fine, and it runs just fine, and it has been running just fine. So it was a little bit of a scare. But if you look at the spark plugs, they're a little orange because I've been running the octane booster, the octanium in it, to keep the octane happy for no knock or anything. We only have 91 octane here. The car was tuned on 91, only running 17 degrees of timing on 19 to 20 pounds of boost, although I don't get up there all the time. I usually keep it around 5,000 RPM. So, it doesn't peak at the high boost numbers all the time, and on the only times I've actually raced the car, it had the octanium in it and stuff. So I think it's pretty safe. I think everything's going well. But it does dye the spark plugs orange, and so does Torco, and the other ones. Probably Boostain does too. And so that's why the plugs look like rusty colored. It's just from the that additive. But the plugs look good for 20 pounds of boost that it's seen. No melting ground straps or anything like that. Pistons all looked good and happy, so very happy about that. So we were just putting everything back together, reinstalling everything, and there's always time to joke around and have some fun. We always joke about how big the throttle body is on this car.
And then your engine.
Toss me Mountain Dew, bro.
You got it.
Map's not plugged in. The next day, I just wanted to take the car out, knowing that it drives well, and just have some fun with it. Go out to breakfast again, do what I like to do, go to that place. And I was going to meet up with my friend with the Shelby GT350 as well. So I went here first and ate, and then I was going to go hang out with him. So I don't mean to disturb their breakfast, but I need to get to the car, and hopefully they don't sit on it and jump on it and poop on it and stuff. Anyway, we'll get going down the road here. I met up with my friend. He had the GT350. We go for a walk around this area a lot. There's a nice New Edge sitting here, V6. That's about what a New Edge looks like these days. here's a nice new hedge sitting over here. So those cars really did look good together, is what we were saying. We talked about it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.